Great night. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to MVP, Netflix, The Zone. Respect to Jake Paul as well. And questions available to Anthony Joshua for you guys.
AJ, right here. Andreas Hale, ESPN, to your left.
Yes.
What's up, man?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, too. Back in the U.S., you got the finish that you desired, but can you kind of talk about the frustration of dealing with Jake's movement? Is that what you expected out of him in this fight? And were the things that you think about that was like, I could have done something a little bit better to end this night earlier?
So there was two things that could have happened in the fight. Jake would have either come full steam ahead 100 mile an hour, or Jake would have moved around the ring at 100 mile an hour. There's two things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 mile an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring, and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you is that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best, and I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying to get up, and I take my hat off to him. So America, I think you have someone who could potentially, if he still has the heart for it, come back again, dust the dirt off his shoulder, and come again and maybe sell out this center sometime in 2026. Maybe against a Gervonta Davis, a Ryan Garcia, who knows?
Eddie, I want to follow with you because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, no, I really take my hat off. I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. It was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight. But you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw, I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from. But he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. He's dedicated to the game.
He has got ability. He done well.
Last one, AJ. Before this fight, we talked, and you said, I'm not thinking about 2026 until after this fight. Now, what is the plan? Because there was talk about Turki Al-Sheikh saying that you would take an interim fight before you would fight Tyson Fury. Can you guys kind of illuminate what the plan is entering next year?
So, the best promoter in the world has been speaking with Turkey, His Excellency, Riyadh Season, and now he's going to relay those messages and speak to my training team, the Right to Fight team. They're going to have conversations. They're going to speak to my manager, and everyone's going to kind of see where I'm at. My training team know my body really well. They know what I've been through over the X amount of weeks I've been with them. So it's up to them to make a decision. They're going to speak with Eddie, and then hopefully in a week or so, I'll have some news. I'm a strong guy. I want to push on, but the coaches it's really up to them. They're the ones that guide me. Fighters will always fight. Coaches are there to guide us.
AJ's Kevin Garcia, aka the Puerto Rican Kid KG, and I just wanted to get your assessment. You know, you've now been in the ring with Jake Paul and Francis Ngannou. What do you think about them comparatively when you assess what they were like up against you?
Both good. Both have heart. It takes a lot. That ring walk. Obviously, 1,000 fighters have done it before me, but it's a. Imagine sleeping the night before a big fight, and then you wake up in the morning and you're waiting for that moment when it's time to leave. You get to the change room, you make that walk. I take my hat off to Francis Ngannou because he's ultimately an MMA fighter, and he crossed over into boxing twice. He beat up Tyson Fury, and then had a short fight with me, but he walked in that ring twice. Credit to him. Then Jake Paul, who has been boxing now for 5 or so years at an elite level, the amount of pressure that's been put on his shoulders, and he's lived up to that pressure. I'm not going to say that they're world class, because in our modern day era, there's maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 Anthony Joshuas that can punch, that can avoid punches, that know what they're doing in the ring. So Jake will struggle at top level, but he has a place in boxing if he wants to stay, in my opinion. So credit to him and his team for getting him this far.
Thank you. And just one other question for you, Anthony. Can you talk a little bit about, was it frustration or what was going through your mind when, some of the clinching was happening? You had hit him a few times on the, you let him go a few times, but then there was a time on the break where you gave him a few good body shots. What was happening in the ring?
So 2 things were happening in my mind in the clinches. In the clinch, he done really well. When you're in survival mode, you will always find a way. So I was trying to look for certain shots. I actually wanted to let my hands go in the clinch, but he done well to tie my hands up. And as you could see, when they were free, I tried to land a few body shots. And I tried when I could. It was a bit messy, but from a systematical breakdown, the right hand landed, it found its home, and the referee waved it off after. Did he get counted out, or did the ref wave it off?
I believe he got counted out.
So the right hand found its home.
Knockout,
I would have loved to have landed some more body shots, but it weren't for tonight, maybe in the future, but we got the job done in the end anyway.
Congrats on the win, AJ.
Thank you, mate.
Jack from The Sun. A question for you, Eddie. There's actually been some rumours around the circuit this week that there's a fight for AJ in February next year against the kickboxing champion, Rico Van Hoven. Is there any legs to that?
No, we've been talking about a possible fight with Turki Al-Sheikh. Couple of opponents mentioned. The biggest challenge now, as AJ said, it's 8 weeks tonight. He had a very tough camp, 8 or 9 weeks with a new team who gave him a good working over. So we will sit down with that team and talk about when he will be ready to return. So in an ideal world, that would be the time. But we're going to see when he's ready. Rico, whoever it is, we haven't finalised that yet. But the date really is what we're going to work on over the next 4, 5, 6 days, because we're not going to rush him back if he's not quite ready. But it won't be long. And the plan is to fight in the spring and then obviously fight Tyson Fury.
AJ, if you had it your way, would you just go in to fight Tyson next, or would you like one more?
Yeah, I would.
We can do that, by the way, straight away. No interim fights. If Tyson's ready and AJ's ready, we don't have to fight in February or March. I think he's saying he needs to fight.
I'll give the Dosser 8 weeks. Give him 24 hours to sign a contract. Let's see if he's a man.
AJ, right here.
Greedy belly.
Right here, Rafael Frado with FightNews.com.
He's looking, saying, "Let me do the fucking. let me come. Come, wait. We have Tyson Fury's cousin here. Go on, let them hear your skills.
We'll do that. Tyson, what are you saying about maybe going straight into the fight with no warm-up?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do it right now, 100%. Go back into that Kaseya Center, put that ring together, and put me in with him, 100%.
And what's John Fury saying? How's he feeling about the fight?
I tell you what, you know it, we all know it, everyone here in America knows it. It's the biggest fight in boxing. Let's do it, 100%.
And part of the new team, obviously, Alexander Usyk. Who do you see winning the fight?
For me, you know I have to go with the teammate. I have to go, but it's a very big fight, and we look forward to it, okay?
So, obviously, AJ is a fan of you, Mike Tyson. What do you think about the fight with him and Tyson Fury?
I'll tell you what, it feels there's something so big about it. And I think it's a big fight for British boxing, but not just that's a big fight globally. But we are in America, and I know Donald Trump wants to see it some.
It would be great if we could have it in America. It's a big fight.
Yeah.
It's
and
a
what of
very
Trump?
big
How's
fight.
Trump? What do you think Trump would say about bringing that fight to the USA?
We could bring it to the USA. We've got the World Cup here. That's going to be so big. The biggest World Cup you've ever seen in your entire life. So let's have it here. We've got big stadiums.
And Mike, I saw earlier when you just spoke, you also turned into Robert De Niro halfway through.
I did. I enjoyed that.
I meant Al
tonight.
Pacino.
Oh, we're in Miami in Scarface. I got to tell you, with Jake Paul, you said, say hello to my little friend. That's how you did it. It is Christmas season, by the way. Joe Pesci likes Home Alone.
I wanted to ask you as well, Eubank Senior, about what you thought, how I carried myself with the Warriors code.
Yes. I thought you carried yourself very well. I really did. I did that, and it was amazing to see. But I believe your promoter does a far better Chris Eubank Sr. And he doesn't do it in the interviews with me, so I think he should do it right now for me.
Anthony Joshua, how do you think you done tonight?
Man, listen, man, I'm working on you. I'm working on you. That's it.
I'm gonna come over there and give you one of
No,
these.
man, it's a work in progress. Thank you.
Hey, Rafael Frado with FightNews.com. AJ, I want to ask you, you mentioned the psychological aspect of the game. It seemed like all your answers, the look in your eyes, everything, you just seemed to be very in tune, very aligned during the lead up to this fight. Was that just your reassessment of the game from being off for that amount of time, or the new camp with Usyk and his team, or is it just that you're a veteran now and the way you approach the game is different?
Good question. New team. They giving me like a spark, a love for the game. Again, I took a year out. I needed that. Sometimes things can be going 100 miles an hour. Just needed to slow it down a bit and actually have a look at what's going on around me. And I think that's been important. And now I can just say, I'm just an athlete. That's what I want to be. I just want to be an athlete now. While I'm still competing and just give it 100%, I don't want to be anything else. I just want to be an athlete. I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to be a businessman. I just want to be an athlete. And I think that's my business. That's my business. And if I can focus on that, I think I can reign again. I've still got a lot of passion for the game. And yeah, that's what's happened over the last year. Focusing more, taking away a lot of distractions, and the team I'm with are pushing me. And I think, even though it's hard, I know that's what's needed. And I'm welcoming more. I'm welcoming more challenges in the gym. I say it now, but it's what I need if I'm going to be successful in boxing.
Well, you can see it shining through, and it showed leading up
Sorry?
to this fight. You can see it shining through, and it showed leading up to this fight.
You can see it?
Yeah,
For real?
I definitely felt that way.
That's positive then, and long may it continue.
Hi AJ,
Good to
Sarah
see you.
from The Athletic. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Obviously you said you had 15 months out, a time when I'm guessing you had lots of questions in your own mind. Did tonight answer any of those questions?
Well, I wanted to fight, so the question is, I was asking myself, do I actually want to fight? The only way I'm going to find out is if I get in the ring and have a feel for it. So getting in the ring today, I definitely want to fight, but I definitely want to get better as well. So I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry to get back on that gravy chain and just continue everything that I kind of left behind in 2025. I had a tough defeat in my last fight, and I just want to. 2024, I had a tough defeat in 2024, and I just want to pick up and move forward again. So yeah, I'm glad that I got back in the ring and I figured out that this is where I want to be. It was a real test for me to figure out if I still want to continue or not, and this was a good eye opener to say this is where I want to be. I want to get back in the ring and go again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anthony, I'm Travis with weighing in with Travis Hartman. I don't know if you remember me, but at the very
You said
kickoff,
to Jake about his record.
I did.
He fought better fighters than this person and that, right?
Yep. And he
Who were
fought
they?
you in his 14th. But do you remember what I asked you?
So you asked me, I can't remember.
So I'd fought Terrence Crawford in the pros and went the distance with Terrence Crawford.
You fought who?
Terrence Crawford in the pros
Yeah.
and went the distance with him. Lost the decision on points. But I asked you if you went the distance with Jake Paul, would that be a loss?
Okay.
And you said yes, I had to knock him out.
Yeah.
So tonight, did it go how you thought it would go? And is it a success for you? I know you won. We all seen that, right? Is it a success for you tonight? And I have a follow-up.
No. I needed to do better. Yeah. No, it's a win, but it's not a success. I think my coach expects more from me, and I expect more from myself. But what can we do? We can't reverse the clocks. I have to move forward. I have to put that in the past now. After today, you may see a bit of social media trying to lap up all of the algorithm attention. But for me, it's in the past. I can't live off of that win. I've got a lot of improvement that I need to do. So yeah, I'm not happy.
So I saw you when you were walking out. I got
Yeah.
to see you. You're right below me. You were standing there for a little bit. And I was just wondering, did this fight feel like a real fight? Like a fight when you go into a heavyweight championship of the world? Did it feel like that? Because to me, it just looked a little different. Because was it hard for you to really get up for
Yeah.
that, knowing that
Yeah.
that's not
There was a lot riding
Dillian
on
White,
it. Nah.
Joseph Parker,
There was
all
a lot
those
riding
guys.
on this fight.
Yeah.
There was a lot riding on this fight, a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, so I had to perform. A lot of people doubt me. I saw Maurizio Suleiman put a picture up of Jake. He don't put a picture up of me. A lot of people don't respect me, so there's a lot of pressure. And I had boxing on my back today. And that was what it was, really. I took Jake as serious as I needed to, but most importantly, I take myself as serious as I need to. I respect myself, I respect boxing, and I know what it takes to get in the ring. You have to be prepared. And one slip-up could cost you in that ring. One slip-up could cost you in that ring. As I said, credit to Jake, I'll stand on that. I'm not gonna sit up here. If he would have beaten me, he would bash me. You know that, right? Imagine him up here now. They would have torn me and Eddie apart. But I'm not going to do that to Jake. I'm going to give him the credit. But if he wants to stay at the top level at heavyweight, he needs to work harder because it's very difficult. It's a very difficult division to reign in.
Thank you for what you did for boxing tonight.
Thank you, bro.
2 more, guys.
You all right, Michelle?
Hi, hey, how are you?
Good, you?
Michelle Joy Phelps with Box Nation. Anthony, I could be wrong here, but I'd like to have you address this because there was a lot of speculation that in the last year and a half, that maybe you had fallen out of love with boxing because we weren't quite sure if we were going to see you back in the ring. I understand why you would take a fight like this because I think for you, it was probably a bit fun, right? Despite the pressure. But was it true? Did you fall out of love with boxing? And if so, how did you find it again?
I was trying to fall back in love with boxing. I realized, like, if you're a family man, I realized that I was working away from home. I was spending time with my friends, and you know, my wife wasn't happy. So I had to kind of look at the decisions I was making, and I had to come back home to boxing, and I had to sacrifice. I had to take a look at my life, make necessary changes to put my love back to the sport. This sport is unforgiving. If you don't give it 100% attention, those belts will be torn away from you and be put on someone else's waist who gives it the love and attention that boxing needs, and I wasn't giving it enough love and attention. So it wasn't that I stepped away because I didn't want to fight. It's I stepped away because I knew if I'm gonna be in boxing, I need to be 100%, and that's what it was. And it took me. I gave myself a year. I said I'm gonna give myself a year. And on September 21st, 2025, the year was done. We normally do 12-week training camp. September 21st, October 21st, November 21st, December 19th. 3 months of training, and we get straight back in the ring. So for me, it was a perfect plan, and I don't want to start like losing my focus now and go and start like socializing and let's get lit. You're popping right now, you know what I'm saying? Your boy's got to try and stay focused. It's difficult. Staying focused takes effort, and I do need to though, because as I said, boxing, if you don't give it the love it needs, it will get up and leave and go and spend the night. Your belts will spend the night with someone else. So I need to focus, man. And I took the time out because I just wanted to regain the focus I need if I'm going to fight.
And joining Alexander Usyk, his team, it came a bit of a shock to the boxing world. How did that come about, and how did you feel that you guys meshed?
So I spoke to Sergey, who works with Usyk, and he invited me down to their training camp. Ultimately, just to do some rounds. There was nothing more to it, but our schedules didn't align at the time. And I spoke to them. I then spoke to Tom Hall, who's a good friend of mine, and he said, "Look, let's try and find some time in your schedule. Put boxing first, and go out there. They're a very good team. You want to win, they're winners. If you want to win, surround yourself with winners." Spoke to Eddie, spoke to family, everyone said it's a good idea. I was initially going to go out there for 2 weeks. That turned into 3 months. That turned into a fight, and long may it continue. It's been a really good experience, a really good eye-opener. And I think I can definitely do more. I done well at becoming 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. But I think if I would have known what it takes, I think I would have been undisputed. To the young fighters coming up, you have to work harder. If you really want to win and you really want to get to the top of boxing like Usyk has, you have to work harder. And that's what I've learned with these guys is hard work doesn't lie. Hard work will give you the results you need. And, you know, tonight wasn't perfect, but the result was a win. And that only happened because of the work we put in over the last 2-3 months. So thank you to the team for your efforts. I appreciate it. Thank you to MVP. Thank you to Matchroom. Thank you to everybody involved. I hope I see you guys soon. And for those that celebrate Christmas, enjoy your Christmas. And for those that don't, enjoy the festive period. Thank you for your love, appreciation for the sport, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.